sandwich at the beginning.
Welcome back to Triple Olive Sports Talk. I'm Josh. Bryce is still eating his food, and that's Roy over there. Pod 80 weeks, boys. Just like that, we're gonna be pushing triple digits. We are gonna do something special on 100. I don't know what, but when we get there, we're gonna have to do something a little different. We got a good episode for this one. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over our MLB draft stats. I'm gonna do it pretty quick. There is not a whole lot of changes from this week. I'm in fourth, 144.
You're in fourth.
Yeah, you gave yourself a.
When did we get a fourth member of this whole team?
He's doing that bad that he's already.
I'm trying to get 2 picks in the next year's draft instead of 1. 144. I am 7 behind Roy at 151, and then Roy is 3 behind Bryce at 154. Really has not been much of a change the entire week. It's about what we were last week. MLB standings, I'll fly through them real fast. In the AL East, Yankees 27-19, Boston 4.5 back, 24-25. Yankees are the only team above 500, by the way. Just now noticing that. Toronto in third, 22-24. Rays 21-26, and the Baltimore Orioles 15-31. Detroit, best record in the American League, 31-17. Minnesota on a heater, 26-21. Kansas City 27-22. Cleveland 25-21. White Sox 14-34. Out west, Seattle 27-19. Houston 25-22. Texas 25-23. Athletics 22-26 on a 6-game losing streak. And the Angels 21-25 in the National League out east. Phillies 29-18. Mets, who have lost the division lead, 29-19. Atlanta above 500 for the first time this year, 24-23. Nationals 21-27. Marlins 19-27. Central, Cubs hanging on 28-20. Cardinals playing well, 1 behind, 27-21. Reds 25-24. Milwaukee 23-25. Pittsburgh 15-33. And then out west, the Dodgers 29-19. Padres 27-18. Giants 28-20. Arizona 26-22. And then there's the Rockies 8-39. That's your standings in the major leagues. Any quick notes you guys got before we get into our topics?
Well, I mean, you brought it up. I mean, I didn't know the AL East was all under 500.
Yep.
And the Central, other than the White Sox, above 500. And the West, everybody's above 500 but the lonely old Colorado Rockies. So, that was, you don't pay attention after a week, and it kind of looks a little different.
Yeah, I feel like this week there's been a lot of streaks. I look at a lot of L4s, a lot of streaks. I know I lost 4. Yeah. L4, L5, W4, W4, W2, W4, L6, L4. A lot of streaks going on. So.
Well, I mean, I think, like you had some. I mean, it was rivalry week, is what weekend they called it.
Yep.
I mean, like Cincinnati swept the Guardians for the first time. They said, I think ever.
I couldn't believe that.
Could not believe that. So I mean, there's weird things have happened, and those kind of series that's what they're made for, is the weird things that happen.
DraftKings actually had a prop bet where you could bet the series winner of the rivalries, and I bet the Guardians. I couldn't believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I would have picked it. I would have said the Guardians would have, but
me too.
Yep. So, all right, let's get into some topics. Let's go over. We came up with some of the better ones this week. I feel like these are some actual topics we could talk about. And I'll hint at it a little bit that I talked about last week because, again, every time – I didn't say it when I looked at the standings. Every time I look at the standings, the first thing I looked at was Baltimore. Well, Baltimore fired their head coach, Brandon Hyde. He's done. He was hired during their tanking, I'll call it, when they were awful. Reaped some success and rewards the last few years, and then tailed off there at the second half of last year and just a terrible start.
Sorry.
Damn.
You wanted to start early. I was eating dinner whenever you wanted to start.
But Baltimore's on a 7-game slide right now. They're 2-8 in their last 10. Negative 86 run differential, and 15-31. And teams above 500, 8-19. Nothing good, home or away. 8-15 at home, 7-16 on the road. It's just all bad. And this is a team that, let's be real, last year, though they weren't playing well, people thought this team could win a World Series last year. And You know, I'm not going to say they lost a lot of pieces because they didn't lose that many per se. You would expect some growth from the young players. They did lose Burns. That's the big one. But what do you guys think about the Baltimore Orioles, and what is their path the rest of the year? I mean, are they done? Do you think they trade? And what do you guys think?
Well, I'll go first. It's a combination of both of them. The pitching is the second worst ERA in baseball at 5 point. I think let me look at it. So 5.9 or 5.54, which is horrible. I mean, their pitching's been absolutely terrible, but their hitting's not even better. So their hitting is in Major League Baseball that we're talking runs scored. I'm talking about runs scored. They are 25th at 173, and their batting average. They are 25th at 229. That's their team average, is 229. Yeah, no, that you would think these younger kids, they have 5 of them. I know what Cowser got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But you would think they would take somewhat of a step and be better. They just, it's just not the team that you thought they'd be. The scapegoat's always the manager.
Yeah.
The front office didn't spend enough money to go get pitching. You had chances. You had Corbin Burns. You should have just thrown anything you had at him. I honestly don't know what's going on with this team. I mean, there's so much talent. I don't know if it's just the atmosphere in Baltimore. I mean, they had such a good year last year and they got beaten the wild card. I mean, that's just
by the Royals and 2
by the Royals. So, you can't have that happen when you're that good. And then, so you thought you had momentum going, but this year's just, it's the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, what can you say? I mean, maybe that's just who they are.
Yeah. Bryce?
Yeah, this is the second team now this year to fire a coach, and it's basically just a scapegoat because they want to blame somebody, and the owners aren't going to take accountability for the GMs aren't going to take accountability for not adding pitching staff to this team whenever they lost Corbin Burns. It was obviously their biggest issue. They didn't add very many quality starters, and it's showing. I mean, they fired their coach in the next game. They gave up 9 runs, I think I read.
Yeah.
It's not on the manager can't control 9 runs off of a starter. He just can't do that. Like, it's just scapegoats is all it is to me. They have to add pieces, and they have to trade away some of their prospects. They're all blocked. I say it every week. I don't know why they haven't traded for some starters, but at this point, they're starting. I know it's still somewhat early in the season. They're starting to push themselves out of playoff contention already because you obviously can't get into the playoffs this early, but you can get yourself out if you dig yourself this big of a hole. Yeah. And I know the division isn't playing as good as they were last year from top to bottom. It's still a good division. I think a lot of these teams are playing down right now, and they'll pick it back up. The Yankees are only, 530 or something like that right now, 530.
For what?
Their win-loss average.
587.
Oh.
Okay, 587, but then everybody else is under 500. I don't think the Red Sox are that bad of a team. I just think that they're really pushing themselves out of the playoff contention if they don't do something soon.
I mean, they're still 10 games out of the wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't say they're out of it.
No, you can't say it's too early.
But I'm going to be honest. The Adley Rutschman from the All-Star break last year hit about 200. He's hitting 200 again this year. Obviously, something they found a weakness in his game, at the plate. Jackson Holiday. Bryce talked about them blocking some of the young guys. You fire the coach. They really, when the owners did it, they basically said they were firing the coach to spark the team. Like they just needed a change, not per se because he was doing a bad job, but they just need something. But they're just not. Their hitters are just not hitting well. I mean, the pitching is out of this world awful. They're the worst pitching staff in baseball. So I'm not even going to go deep into that. But they're hitting. I mean, Jackson Holiday at second base. They're giving him a free runway, 270 average. I'm not going to dive deep into the stats. It's good for a second-year player who got drafted a few years ago. Adley's really struggled. Gunnar Henderson's not an MVP candidate this year. Still a good player. But outside of that, Ryan Mountcastle, 230. Cedric Mullins, 228. Hedson Kurtstead, I don't know if I said that right, 209, someone they're trying to let play in Cowser's spot. And then at third base, they're not playing well. and they're just giving up too many runs. And I feel like they're almost falling into this category. First 3 innings, you're down 3-0. Here we go again. Next game, you're down 2-0. First inning, here we go again. Maybe the batters are, fighting, being a little too aggressive. To me, I'm going to be honest, they're not catching the New York Yankees this season. They're just not. The only thing they're fighting for is a wild card. Not saying that they're out of it. I just don't think they get to it. I think there's too many good teams. Kansas City is going to beat this team into a wild card spot. I'm going to assume Detroit wins their division. They beat them. I also think Cleveland would end up beating Baltimore in a standings race because I don't think Cleveland's playing that bad. That whatever. I just don't see a path to them getting in. To me, a few of these players, Ryan Mountcastle, maybe you move on from him. Maybe you move on from Ramon Urias and just let some of those prospects that are blocked runway in the major leagues for the next 60 games once they get to that point and see what they got. I'm kind of out on the Orioles. I mean, they're just playing so bad. Not saying they can't come back. I just don't see it with the other teams.
I think this year is a struggle year. The young kids, when you get into Major League Baseball, like you said, pitchers find ways. There's so much scouting now. They find ways to get you out. And it's time for the batters they have to make adjustments. So this team, they're still young. So this might be a year where it's a learning curve. I know they had a bunch of expectations, but then maybe, like you said, get rid of a couple people and bring up some of these young kids, kind of get a team to finish off the year, and then you go into next year. And maybe you can get some pitching. But this team, you talk about trading people away. You got to keep some of these young kids and keep a lot and maybe some veterans. But if you can get some good quality people out of them, then I definitely just keep the core and just go for there.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to trade any of the young kids.
No.
Jackson Holliday's not going anywhere. Gunnar Henderson's not going anywhere. Even though Adley Rutschman has not played well, he's also not going anywhere. Maybe some of the veterans.
I'm talking about the guys in the minor leagues, like you.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't trade any of them just to. You can chop this off as a year to your learning curve. It's not making them happy.
The only name I've seen bounce around that could get dealt, obviously for the right price. I don't think they would just give this guy up just to trade him. But if you got a right price, maybe Felix Bautista. He only does have about 2 years left, I think. Which again, you don't have to trade him if you don't get an offer you want. But everybody knows closers like that can get a haul. If you could get a good young starting pitcher that could maybe stay healthy for once, maybe you would do that. I'm not sure though, but that's because after that, they don't really have a whole lot of pieces to move, like bigger names. Mountcastle, Cedric Mullins, maybe some bullpen or that closer. But yeah. Next on our agenda, Juan Soto's return to the Bronx. I don't know if you got to watch any of the games, Roy.
I did.
Roy, would you like to give your thoughts on what you thought about the series or the fans? I know there's a lot of spark talking about how Juan Soto reacted to everything.
You want me to go first? My reaction to it is just, it's New York Yankees. It's New York fans. Come on. Turn their back to them. You're one of them who loved Juan Soto. I liked Juan Soto. I wasn't upset for he left. I wish he would have stayed, but it's not. I've seen some stars come and go as a longtime Yankee fan. What I saw this weekend though is not Juan Soto. There was moments where just hitting, and even in the field where I'm just like slow motion, no energy, and I don't know if it's just what it is, if the emotion just got to him or what. It just did not look the same. He tried to play it down, I think, just because you come back to New York but the Yankee fans do what they do. Make you earn, being out there. They're gonna hurt you. I love the bleacher bumps. I don't think I've sat out there. Love it. It's great.
Sat there.
It's been awesome. So I don't know. He's still young, so he's gonna turn around and be fine. But I just want him to remember there's a reason why the Mets are second in New York and way second, the second team in baseball in New York, and pretty much a third team because I think there's probably more Red Sox fans than Met fans in freaking New York. So in the state of New York. So Just remember that, Met fans. You got Jerry Seinfeld. Who gives a shit?
Bryce?
I would say that this weekend is just showing off how spoiled the Yankees fans are and how childish most of them are. Because, I mean,
Cub fans are worse.
You had one season with Juan Soto and didn't win anything, and then he went and got more money, and you guys
won the pennant.
Sell
Yeah, they won the
out,
American League
fucking
pennant.
loser.
They won the American League pennant.
You guys win the American League pennant every year. You're expected to do that.
We hadn't won it in how many years?
You guys are spoiled rotten, and one guy wants to go get more money, and then you're just, I'm going to turn my back on him. Man, fuck that guy. He played for one season. Get over yourselves.
He said it wasn't the money.
I'm okay with it. The Yankee fans being Yankee fans.
Spoiled brats.
Yeah, I mean, spoiled brats, but we'll take Cody Bellinger off your hands for free.
Oh, hell yeah. Basically for nothing.
Literally.
And have Goldschmidt have a career year going on.
Half your team's fucking Cubs players.
Half?
You got a lot of Cubs players on your team.
But, I mean, I loved it. Juan Soto should never have left. He knows that. He knows deep down he should never have left. Sorry, Ben Rice, I thought just hit a home run. He did not. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. He knew he was going to get booed. The first game, I thought he did it all right. You know, he kind of laughed like, damn, that's like they really booed me good. Second game, I think it got to him a little bit that, you know, damn, like these guys will not shut up. Like they really don't like me anymore. And then the third game, I don't know if you guys know this, he was supposed to be mic'd up for Sunday Night Baseball. He came to the stadium and told ESPN he's not doing it anymore. And then they were going to ask him about reporters. He walked into the Mets clubhouse after they lost the last game, told the reporters he was going to go talk to his family who was at the game, left the stadium. Did not go back to the reporters. Juan Soto is 26 years old. He'll be just fine with the Mets. He's a generational hitter. He always was, always will be. He's not a good fielder. People knew that. But yeah, it's not a good look. Poor Mets fans, I mean, pay all this money and the guy just, you know, he doesn't want to be, he'd rather be on the Yankees. But, I mean, it's his own fault. Juan Soto is my second favorite non-Yankee. And just to leave, it sucks because, like, he's that good. But, like, you know, big moments, he's usually really good. He was not good. Because let's be real, it's the first time in his life he was ever really booed like that. Like, don't get me wrong, he probably got booed a little bit. But, like, when he went back to Washington, they gave him a standing ovation after they traded him to San Diego. San Diego gave him a standing ovation when the Yankees came last year. So, first time he's ever been booed like that. So, we'll see. But Yankees are better than the Mets. That's all I care about. All right, Roy, you had
Cubs.
What on earth? There is no Bryce Harper trade talks.
Yeah, there was today.
Okay. I mean, they're in first. They went to first place.
Yeah,
there was serious trade. Well, it matched what you put in because it was serious trade talks with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay. I mean, we can.
There
talk
was a report
about
today that I saw. It was your boys talking baseball that said it.
Okay, pull it up.
Okay.
I mean, the Phillies just went into first place.
I know. I saw. I thought the same thing.
But we can talk about it. But before that, let's get into the Roy. You had a topic you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys saw the Jeff Passan interview story about how he thinks that the Pirates should trade Paul Skeens, which I just wanted two parts to this. First part, do you think, not will they, do you think the Pirates should trade Paul Skeens? That's the first question. Yeah. Not if or not will they, just what do you think they should? I'll let you go. One of you, whoever wants to go first.
I don't think they should. That would be my stance. I think that a lot of teams like the Pirates, they get used to mediocrity and they want to win whenever they just get lucky with a young core, kind of like the Orioles had last year. That's their opportunities to win. When you have a player like Paul Skeens who's generational like that, I'm sure you're going to get a haul if you trade for him. But quit trying to be a mediocre team. Go out and try and win. I can't stand – the Pirates do it the most out of any team too. They get these generational players, trade them, and try and rebuild off of them. And then get one guy to be good and trade them and try and get another haul. It sucks for the fans. I'm not a fan of the team. I like the Pirates being bad. but it sucks for the fans to watch your team be bad every single year. Give them something to root for.
Yeah, I see two sides of this, so I'll explain. Do I think they should trade Paul Skeens? No, I don't think they should. But the reason I say no is because that owner is not going anywhere yet. If that owner is going to stay there, I think they should trade Paul Skeens because he's not going to spend money. He's obviously shown that he's not going to spend money. So at that point, he needs to build around the players that have 6 years of service time and have made it to the big leagues. You know what I mean? Like, he needs more players that make nothing than just Paul Skeens. Because once Paul Skeens gets to year 3, he's going to be arbitration eligible. He's already got a Rookie of the Year. God forbid he gets a Cy Young in the next 2 seasons. His arbitration is going to be 15+ million. He doesn't want to pay it. So I think that Paul Skeens should not be traded in general. But if that owner is going to stay there, I think he should go down and tell them, you're going to trade Paul Skeens. Now, he might get shot afterwards, but at that point, he needs to, because he can't compete if he can't spend any money, but he's paying Paul Skeens $10 million, $15 million until he gets to his free agency in 5 years. So, I mean, as a baseball fan, I'd like to see him get traded. I think it'd be sick, but
so
no,
I got 2 parts to it too. The first part, no, the Pirates should not trade him.
Yeah.
I see 2 sides to it. The first part would be they shouldn't. I wish because when I was young, the Pirates were good. I mean, they were really good. I mean, they had Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke, Doug Drabeck pitching. I mean, they were good. It was fun to watch them. It was a good. I mean, they took the Atlanta Braves, down to the wire right before Barry Bonds decided to sign that big free agency, and that's kind of when he left. That was kind of the end of the Pirates. They get these players all the time because they're drafting high, and they get rid of them. And Garrett Cole started there. I mean, they get players that are
Glass
good.
now started there.
Huh?
Tyler Glass now started there.
They get these good pitchers, even good hitters, and they end up trading them off. And the Pirates need somebody to cheer for. That's the bad part of the fans. They got to put up with it because that owner will not. Yeah, you're like you said. Both of you said he will not spend. He'll trade. He will eventually. He's probably going to trade Paul Skeens. It'll be that 5th year when he get trade where it's going to get really big. Like the last 2 years, a year before he has because then he'll draw a huge haul for him.
Now, go ahead. Keep going.
Now the second part is I could see him trading him. Maybe not this year, but like maybe next year or something. Because, I mean, we all know Paul Skeens is going to have Tommy John. I mean, at some point here. I mean, the way he throws, as hard as he throws, it's a matter of time. So, I mean, I could see how Jeff Passan saw that was, hey, let's trade him now. Get the ball before he has Tommy John because you're going to have it. And that's good. And there's what 1 or 2 years right there that you lost him. For being, and then you won't have to pay him anyway. So it's just you wouldn't get the haul that you might get. But I mean that's the other way I would see it in the 2 ways.
Yeah. Before we get into trade packages and stuff like that, I do want to say, if that Pirates owner, which I already know the answer, but I'm gonna so far away. If he goes, there is 0 chance I can pay Paul Skeens when he hits free agency. 0. I mean, literally 0. Even if there's 1% where he goes, you know what? Maybe I'll just say screw it. Last year, I'll do it, and if we don't win like that year, I'll sell the team. If there's 0% chance that he signs, he should trade him today. I mean, right now.
There's a 0 chance he's going to sign him.
Then, and I agree. I agree with you. Then in that way, I think he should trade him today because, like you said, injury that is very valid. I think we all know Paul Skeens eventually is going to get hurt. Every pitcher does. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
But 2, when was the last time basically a Cy Young candidate had 4 years of control where he won't make more than about 15 or so? I mean, that's for teams that are trying to win. And I mean, first of all, you'd have to have the pieces, but That's the best deal in the world, and it
Yeah.
would receive an absolute haul. Like one Soto package would not compare to this.
No.
That's how much of a generational package he would get.
All right, so that's where it gets to the second question. Bryce is a Cub fan. I'm a Yankee fan. Josh, Yankee fan. If Paul Skeens, said, hey, they called the Cubs right now, Bryce, and said, hey, realistically, what would you trade? Who would you trade to get him?
I would trade.
Hold
You got
on.
the thing pulled up?
Give me 30 seconds.
Are draft picks included in this?
No.
No.
Okay.
Pirates. Cubs. Go ahead.
Owen Cassie.
Oh, you're going your team first. All right, let me put Skeens coming. Skeen going to the Cubs. All right.
Give me
Got
Owen
him.
Cassie.
Yep.
Moises Ballesteros.
Okay.
These are prospects, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know what number they are? So I just have an idea because I don't.
Owen
No, you're-
Cassie is our number 2 prospect, I think.
Here, let me pull
Or
them up.
3. I think Matt Shaw and then Cade Horton are our 1 and 2. But Owen Cassie and then Malastros Ballesteros is like 5, and he's like 45 overall or something like that. Throw Ben Brown on there.
Okay. Got it. Is that your package?
I feel like you'd have to add one more. But I'm trying to think of who you would give up there.
So you said, repeat that, the names you said, Josh.
Ben Brown, but he's not a prospect. He's a major league player.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Moises Ballesteros.
Number 4 on the list.
Owen Casey.
Number 3 on the list.
Yeah, that's all he's got right now.
Okay.
And then probably that Alcantara. And that'd probably be it.
4 players.
Who's that?
Kevin Alcantara.
Oh, Kevin Alcantara.
Yeah.
Okay. So the website I use it gives a total of points. So it's saying right now, and this is a median. Like this isn't top tier Paul Skeens, but this isn't like low. I don't know what it just says a median. So give or take, the value for Paul Skeens is 94 points. Your package of Casey, Ballesteros, Alcantara, and Ben Brown is 79 points. So you're like
that's crazy.
14 points off, which is quite a bit. Like I'll give you an example. Nico Horner is not worth 14 points.
Yeah.
So on this, it says you're far off. Well, I mean, not far off, but
I think for the Cubs, you'd have to give up your top 2, Matt Shaw and Cade Horton.
Yeah, they won't give up them too.
So I did this at work because I really wanted to dive into this. To me, this was to get to the points evenly. Again, it's not a trade.
I'm kind of interested to see if my points were even close to
that. So what I made for the Cubs, now I'm not saying that the Cubs should do this. I'm just saying this made the points even. Ben Brown, Cade Horton, Ballesteros, Casey, Alcantara. So I did the exact same trade you did, Bryce, but Cade Horton was in it. And that was for Paul Skeens one player. And that was about even.
Because they would want Cade Horton and Paul Skeens in the staff with Shota and then a healthy Steele.
But there's no way without Horton I think that deal would get done. I also think, which this isn't probably realistic, if the Cubs called the Pirates, the very first name they would say is Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah,
because Pete Crow Armstrong does not reach Paul Skeens' 94 points. It's very close. It's 83, but it still doesn't reach it. Now I'm not saying they would take that, but yeah. But that was the one that I read to you, Bryce. That was the offer that I thought was the best for the Cubs. That matched the points. I made one that probably was the best for the Pirates. Now, again, it also matched the points. And I didn't put PCA because I just don't think that one would ever happen. I have for the Pirates' first ask, and again, these points matched. Matt Shaw, Ballesteros, whatever you want to call his name, Cade Horton, Casey, and Peter Hodge. I think that's like a good deal for the Pirates asking that matched the points. He just got up and left.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Sorry. I heard you.
So, again, not saying that the Cubs would, say yes to that or nothing. I'm just saying I think that would be what the Pirates probably ask for. You get Shaw, Horton, Casey, Balerios, or whatever, and then you also get a backing closer, whatever, Hodge, that has 5 years of control. I tried to find the ones the Pirates were asking. I also did this for the Yankees, Roy. Okay. I tried to find people that have made it to the majors but had like 5 years of control. Because if they're going to trade Skeens, they probably just want to stockpile players that they know are major league players at that point, not someone that's 19 years old that they can phase out and never make it. So, all right, you want to go to the Yankees, Roy?
Yeah, I mean, I can do mine.
Okay, let me clear this. All right, Skeens going to the Yankees.
Yep.
Go ahead, Roy. Tell me your guy.
Well, I gave him two major league guys, Will Warren.
Okay.
And then I gave him Peraza.
Okay, let me find Peraza. Okay.
And then I gave him two guys I don't want to give, but they're going to ask for Lombard Jr., George Lombard Jr., our number 1 prospect, and Spencer Jones, our number 2 prospect.
Okay.
And then I gave him, I gave him the number 17 prospect, Chase Hampton.
Okay, I gotta find him. He's not on my first page.
Because I changed it with 1, 2.
I can't even find Hampton.
Can't find.
I found him. Here he is. Okay.
Chase Hampton.
Okay.
They're number 7. That's it. That's what I gave.
That's what you got. All right, Roy. Yours is kind of about where Bryce had his. Paul Skeens is worth 94 points. You gave up 74, so it's also not very close. So I'll tell you like what you're missing in this. You're missing a Luis Heel, Ben Rice type of player to get to the even again. Take it with a grain of salt, but I'm just letting you know. Will Warren was worth quite a bit, and Lombard was worth quite a bit. Peraza and Hampton were worth almost nothing in this trade.
How about Clayton Beater, since he's a AAA?
He's also not very high.
That's the other guy. I traded Hampton, or I had Beater first, and then I put in Hampton because he's a top prospect.
So the one that I made that matched the points that I think the Pirates would ask. Like if you're the Pirates, this is probably the first thing you say. It has George Lombard Jr., Will Warren, Roderick Aries. You know who that is? Yeah,
no, I know he's our number 5 prospect.
Dominguez.
See, I thought about Jason Dominguez, but I thought Spencer Jones might be higher because Dominguez has been good, but not great.
Yeah. What's his face? Spencer Jones has a 45% strikeout rate in the minor leagues right now. He can't hit the ball other than a home run. But the one that I had, now this is what I made. Now, I would not do this. I'm just saying what I made, and it reached the number. I think it was actually a little over, if I'm not mistaken. But if I had to put a package for Skeens, this was what I would have gave up. George Lombard Jr., Will Warren, Luis Heel, and Ben Rice. Now, again, I would not do that trade, but I'm just saying I had to get to the points. So,
I wouldn't do either one of the trades I did.
I wouldn't either.
As much as I like Paul Skeens, you know what? Wouldn't trade him. He'll be a free agent in 5 years.
The Yankees are not positioned to trade for a superstar. They just aren't now. Not after the Soto trade. They've lost so much depth. They have a few good prospects like Lombard, Will Warren's at the major league level now, but they don't have a whole lot of minor league value, like big value. Like
no, they got some great pitching at single A,
but
their
so
single A
far
team is
away.
great, but they're so far away that
So-
you're just.
And
it's
then
tough.
the last one that I did for Paul Skeens, I made best offer. I played around with like 5 teams. It's pretty simple who the best offer had. It was the Dodgers. The Dodgers had the best offer. I mean, best offer as in like without giving up someone that kills the team. The Dodgers were. And theirs was only 3 players. They just called up a catching / outfield prospect, Dalton Rushing. He's a top 50 prospect. Rushing was in the deal to play catcher for Pittsburgh. The center fielder Pages, Andy Pages, he was in it. And they have a guy who was actually in the Michael Busch trade from the Cubs, Jackson Ferris, lefty starter. Those 3 equaled Skeens' value on this thing. I think Pages was a little overrated, in my opinion, on the thing, but Rushing has really high reviews. So those 3 were the Skeens one. And if you're the Dodgers, I'm going to be honest, I would probably do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because Rushing is a backup catcher / outfield platoon at the moment. You could just find another center fielder. Kike Hernandez could play center. Jackson Ferris is a AA player, and that gets you Paul Skeens. Now, I'm not saying they would take it. I'm just saying on this it matched the value. But, yeah, that's what I got with it so far.
No, I mean, I don't think they'll trade him this year.
I don't either.
But I mean, because I think he'll eventually want to be in a big market.
Well, if Paul Skeens wins a Cy Young, when he gets to arbitration, he can his value pops automatically, like 10 or 15 million. He got a full year for winning Rookie of the Year last year, even though he wasn't up. So he's got 1 full year already. This year he doesn't make a whole lot, and next year he won't make a whole lot. But it's the year after that. So if he wins a Cy Young this season or next season, I think next season could be his last.
I think it's going to be hard for him to win the Cy Young because he just won't get the wins.
Yeah, but Jacob deGrom did that in like middle 2010s. Like he was like
but Jacob deGrom, I mean, he was having 1 point whatever.
Yeah,
he was ridiculous. Paul Skeens is ridiculous, but I just don't see him. I just don't see it happening as a Pirate, because just the way the Pirates are. I mean,
it's definitely interesting.
No, just Jeff Passan. I mean, when he said that, I think he did it for story, just for the show. But
all right. Let's see. Do you guys have anything else Paul Skeens related?
His girlfriend's on the front of SI swimsuit issue.
She is. Devin Williams is in, right? Or Roy.
Yeah, great. Losing the game now.
He's been good the last 3 weeks. I don't think we have anything else. I think we just got our games. Bryce, you want to go first?
I can.
Or I can go first if you want. Mine will take
matter.
a tad bit longer probably, but
Mine will take 5 minutes.
I'll do Bryce's.
So if you want to go first.
All right. I am going to start a new segment for the next couple weeks. It'll take us a little bit to get through. I'm going to pick a position, and then I'm going to name one player from the position and kind of do it like, would you rather have this player or this player, like we did with like Terry McLaurin and stuff.
Yep.
And I'm just going to go through every single team's starter for that position, and I'm going to go by who's played that position the most. So, for example, I'm doing center fielder, and I will start with the Angels. Joe Adell has played center field for the Angels the most this year, not Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout's a right fielder now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So the player I'm going to pick is going to be Pete Crow Armstrong to start it off.
Okay, now I need the parameters. Are we talking this season or are we talking future?
Right now. Who do you want right now?
And I'm trying to win a World Series this year.
Either one. Like win World Series or for the future. Who would you rather have on your team right now?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start off with Joe Adell.
No.
Say yes or no.
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 Jacob Young.
No.
Victor Scott II.
No.
No.
Derek Hill.
No.
Don't even know who that is, so no.
Me neither. Lane Thomas.
No.
No.
Brenton Doyle.
No.
No.
Kyle Isabel.
Nope.
No.
Brandon Marsh.
Nope.
Alec Thomas.
Nope.
JJ Bleday.
Nope.
No.
Tyrone Taylor.
Nope.
No.
TJ Friedel.
It's been good this year, but no.
No.
Evan Carter.
Nope.
No.
He's played the most?
By
Really?
far.
Damn.
He has 246 plate appearances
Oh,
to
shit.
PLR's 94. Luis Robert Jr.
No.
No.
Cameron Misner.
No.
No.
Garrett Mitchell.
No.
No.
Sedinane Rafaela.
No.
No.
Parker Meadows.
Nope.
Yeah, I like Parker.
All right, I'm just going to take that as a no from Roy.
I said yeah.
I know you did. O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not taking O'Neal Cruz.
I
He
would.
is good.
Would you actually, Roy?
Yeah.
Okay.
More upside, better.
I could pull up some stats later, but Jung Ho Lee,
No.
No.
Dalton Varsho,
No.
No.
Jake Myers,
No.
No.
Andy Pajes,
No.
No.
Cedric Mullins.
No.
Yeah, just because of his history.
He's batting 240 with. Okay. Byron Buxton,
No.
Yes.
Michael Harris II,
Nope.
Trent Grisham,
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. If I need damn. No, but close.
Jackson Merrill,
Yes.
Yes.
Julio Rodriguez.
No.
Yes.
I'm taking Pete Crow. I'm trying over every player on this list, but
Shocker.
Is that the entire list?
yeah,
I only had
those
one
30.
yes.
I know, and it was Jackson Merrill. You actually had it really close to what the fan graphs
Yeah.
has. They have PCA at third. They had Julio Rodriguez at first, and then Jackson Merrill. But
I've never been a big Julio fan. He's so cold all the time. And then I'll have 1 month where he torches and then he's cold for the rest. I don't like players like that. I'd rather have consistency.
yeah,
But-
I don't think Jackson Merrill's better than PCA, but I can see the argument.
He can hit. He can really fucking hit.
So can PCA.
Yeah, but PCA is 4 for 5 or 1 for 5. I swear to God, every time I look at Jackson Merrill, he's 3 for 5, 3 for 5, 3 for 5, 3 for 5.
Yeah, until he made that diving catch and the Padres posted that he was the best center fielder in the league. Then he went like 0 for 20.
I mean, have you guys ever seen Jackson Merrill's swing now, Roy? Have you ever seen it?
I mean, not since. I mean, I've
It's
seen
Freddie
him play.
Freeman. He has Freddie Freeman's stance, swing, everything. And it's a unique stance. But, yeah. All right. That was a fun game.
Yeah, so next week I'll pick like left fielder or right fielder, and then it's not going to be a Cub every week. I just wanted to start off with that.
That's fair.
I'm going to try and pick somebody who's towards the top, though.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you guys I'm going to rip Roy. I'm very disappointed in your baseball knowledge in the last, I'll say 5 years. I just think it's really disappointing. And Bryce, I know yours the last few years
what you think
from the show, but the 2020 to 2022 range is not very good. Some of those players that I feel like everybody knows, you don't know a few of them. So I'm going to rip some of your guys' knowledge. And I stole this from John Boy Media. All credit goes to them, 100%. Let me share the screen real quick. I have 2 wheels. Oh, I can't pick both. That sucks. Hopefully I picked the right one. Nope. We're going to start with this one. You guys see my screen?
Yeah.
I'm going to spin this wheel, and we're getting one major league team.
Hey, no free ads. No free ads.
Oh, yeah, no ads. Got to pay us. And then after this wheel, I have another wheel that has 2021, 2022, 23, and 2024. So it's only 4 options. And you guys are going to have to guess their starting rotation, 2 relievers, and a closer based off innings pitched and then saves for the closer.
I'm not gonna get any of these.
I probably won't get early.
You guys are facing each other. So you guys need to write these down on like your phone. Ooh, green Sally up. Stop sharing.
So the Phillies rotation in what year?
About to find out.
20,
Go one more.
23. Okay. So I need, hold on. I need 5 starters, and it's based off most innings pitched. Okay. 5 starters, 2 bullpen arms, like relievers, and a closer. All you have to do is write down on like a notes app or something on your phone, and then you guys are going to go against each other. If you guys both get one right, nobody gets a point. Okay, make sense?
There's no way I get this.
There's no way I'm going to get it. I can't remember who freaking the bullpen guy would even be. I know about 2 starters.
2023 Phillies pitching.
I might get a couple.
This is 2 years ago, Roy. The Philadelphia Phillies, who made the playoffs.
So starters, relievers, and what else?
Closer.
5 starters, 2 relievers, and a closer. Closer will go off.
Since I only know two starters.
Okay.
Gosh, what's his name? I can see his face. Okay.
I wrote 2 names down. Couldn't even tell you.
I have 4 names wrote down.
You better write names down, Roy.
I did on my phone. I got 2.
You can't name 5 starters in the history of the Phillies and hope they played in that year.
I can name starters, but not. Huh?
I don't care if you write Steve Carlton.
I'm not right. I got 2.
Okay, well.
I think I've got 2.
Same people probably Bryce has got.
Yeah, probably. Well, you're not going to get any points then.
I'm just going to think. We'll just go from there. All right.
Well, you don't get to make them up as you go.
What? I've got mine wrote down. I will hit
like
done.
once you name them, like you're out.
What?
Okay, what?
You guys are going against each other.
I know.
So if you name your 2,
name, right?
What?
I say name, and he says his name too. That's the same person, right?
I'm going to tell you the answers, and you're going to get points if you're right. If you only have 2 names down and Bryce has both, you don't get any.
I have 5 names down.
Bryce just would need to get 1 player correct that you don't have to win. There's a total of 8 points on the board. 5 starters, 2 relievers, and a closer.
I don't know.
Mine might not even have played for this team.
All right, I got 3. There, I'm done. I got 3.
Okay.
And I don't even know if he was when he was there.
Ace of the team, 193 innings. Aaron Nola.
Got him.
Got him.
You guys both don't have any points. So nothing. The number 2 pitcher on this team, 192 innings pitched. Zach Wheeler.
Got him.
All right. 0-0 still. The number 3 starter on this team, 172 innings pitched, 4.5 ERA. Taijuan Walker.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Still on the Phillies.
Didn't even know. I thought he was at that
in the
point.
rotation.
Yeah. Didn't know he was there in 20. I wouldn't have got that one.
He had a 4.38 ERA. I looked at the wrong number. Number 4 starter, all-star this season, 125 innings pitched. Oh, I don't think that's all-star. Never mind. That's Thoreau's left.
I was just saying, how is he a 4?
It has a star next to it. I just figured it was all-star, but then Nola Wheeler would have had it as well. Number 4 starter, 125 innings pitched, Ranger Suarez.
I didn't get that one.
No.
Still in their rotation. Still.
I have 2 relievers, and I think I have the closer.
Okay.
I just got a closer.
And then the number 5 starter, 99 innings pitched, Christopher Sanchez. I believe he's still there as well. I believe all 5 of these players are still in the Phillies. So, their number 1 reliever, 87 innings pitched, 3.2 ERA, Lefty Matt Strom. Currently.
Didn't get him. He is on the
their
team
best
still.
reliever.
Yeah.
Okay. The number 2 reliever, 60 innings pitched, 4.62 ERA. Probably the first person on this list that's not on the team anymore, but still in baseball. Gregory Soto.
Oh, I had
Didn't
him.
get him.
No, didn't get
I
him.
didn't get him.
And then the closer. Roy, do you have a closer down here?
I do have a closer.
Okay. Bryce, do you have a closer down here?
I do.
Okay.
Do you want to
I'm gonna have
guess
you guys
which one?
say who you have on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Craig
Jose
Kimbrell.
Alvarado.
Craig Kimbrell.
With 69, one of you are correct. With 69 innings pitched, 23 saves, and a 3.2 ERA. Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah.
I have him on my relievers though.
But he was the closer, not a reliever. You know what I'm saying?
That's stupid.
Well, I couldn't remember he was still on that team.
I had David Robertson too. I had more players. That's stupid.
David Robertson is not on this team at all. He's not on the
I
roster.
think he was on the Cubs that year, actually.
I think he was, yeah. Jose Alvarado is on this roster, just not in the top 2.
That's so stupid.
He didn't get the closer role until I believe after this year when Kimbrell left. So Roy wins round 1.
That's
I'm
so
gonna
dumb that he won.
I'm going to do this. I did pitching today. Next
And that was
week
a
I
lucky
might do-
guess. Because I thought
Next week
at
I
that
might
time he
do
was still.
hitting, and I'll just do first baseman based off WAR. Or players like a lineup. Philly. You might get Rangers lineup in 2017, but
I'd never get one.
Roy's 1-0, and I'm going to keep tally of this. Ooh.
That is bullshit. I thought we were just naming 2 relievers. I didn't think it had to be the top 2 relievers.
Based off innings pitched. That's who threw the most innings. And then saves, I won't closer, I won't do that because you just get saves. So all right, well, you know how it works now.
I got robbed.
I got the win. I'm okay with it.
Neither you put Ranger or Tyjon Walker, Christopher Sanchez, or Matt Strom, who are all on the Phillies.
Who gives a shit? I watch the Phillies about 3 times a year.
I think you should have to give up all your wins for the Phillies this year then.
Why?
Because you don't watch them.
So?
Have you watched a Phillies game this year?
Have I watched? No, not this year. No, not one.
I believe that. Trust me.
Nope. I watched the A's and Angels game the other day. Just because it was on.
Why?
That's a wild game to watch.
It was just on. That's why.
Hold on. Before we go, I need you guys to stand up real quick. Just stand up.
No.
Why?
Just stand up for me, Roy. At least Roy. Bryce, you don't have to stand up.
Why? I can't even get up. Why?
All rise. The judge has left the yard.
Oh,
5
God.
minutes.
You're an
I don't have
idiot.
anything else.
Jeez.
Roy, you got a game?
No, I don't. Nope.
All right. Like button, subscribe, comment. We didn't get any comments last week, by the way. I would have led that off. I looked every day. We didn't get one. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment. We'll see you next week. Peace.
See ya.